I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on. "48 hours before Arsenal commenced, people, defending our Premier League trophy against Coventry City. 2 weeks to go until the transfer window is closed. There's Nwaneri rumours. Richard Garlick and Mikel Arteta have spoken. I'm sure you've all seen the news. David Ornstein, who doesn't tweet or talk if there isn't much to say, is saying we're moving ever closer to signing Ezri Konsa. And for me, I'm happy with that level of depth, if I'm honest. If there's one thing I think Arsenal fans have to learn is to trust anything around signing centre halves, left backs, things of that ilk. We have to trust our club. Saliba, we don't know how long he's out for. We hear 3 months, we hear 4 months, we hear 5 months. He could be back sooner, he could be back later. What you don't want to happen is obviously the man comes back and then he has to be, ran into the ground. So that is another attraction with Konsa. Equally, he can play right back. We know about Benjamin White and Timber. And obviously with Saliba, with any player, man, when you see a lot of players, whether it's ACL, MCL, hamstring, back, when you're out for that amount of time, you do have little setbacks, like your groin might go, your hamstring might go, you might get a knock in training. So I'm happy with the defensive outlook of our team, people. I'm happy with if we do sign Konsa, with Konsa, Mascara, Benjamin White for at least another year, Shuri and Timber, obviously William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Calafiori, Hincapié, the ability to play Declan Rice as a centre-back and Miles Lewis-Skelly as a left-back. And you've got young, talented Marley Salmon. You look further forward, Bruno G, step in the right direction. Lewis-Skelly, Zubomendi, Declan Rice, absolutely amazing to go with Bruno G. But if I'm honest, obviously we needed a defender. Saliba's been injured. And I've been so passionate on signing one more central midfielder. We've strengthened areas that are already strong. Zolis in isolation, isolating him. You've done well in preseason. We see what you're doing at Club Brugge. You're a good addition. But we were told we need another attacker. So we're a bit short there. And I expect the tactics and all of that stuff to improve. But the attack or the attacking unit is the one you have question marks over, despite the fact we got 121 goals. So we're going to have to see something in that regards, people, because we're trying to do something Arsenal haven't done. Yes, I know we've done it in the 1930s, but in the modern day, we have not retained the Premier League trophy. And I do like Mikel Arteta's comments about attacking the league. Language is very important. Now, you could take that literally and think, oh my God, it's down to interpretation, right? I'm going to attack the league and, I'm going to play great attacking football, which we want to see together with what we want to do defensively. I think the question is not necessarily attacking football, learn to break down low blocks because nobody wants to play against us. We're trying indirectly with Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. You're trying to join this company with Sir Alex Ferguson, with Jose Mourinho and with Pep Guardiola of retaining a Premier League trophy. And as I always say, from a position of love, as much as I like the journey we've been on and I'm proud of the boys and the manager, just in terms of getting to the next level, as a 31-year-old Arsenal fan, you lot haven't done anything I haven't seen. I've seen us win a Prem. I've seen us get to a Champions League final. I haven't seen us retain a Premier League trophy. I haven't seen us win a Champions League. So that's what we want to, that's what we need to do. And going back to what I was saying about attacking the league, language is important. All of these Arsenal players currently doing the media rounds, they talk about attacking. They talk about attacking the league. And that's what Mikel Arteta should say as well. It's a different landscape from last season, right? We were hungry. We were the guys that have never done it. Now there's a target on our back. And I like it because I interpret it as you ain't got to look for us because we're looking for you. If you want to take this, take it over our dead bodies. And I do think to a degree the title race is wide open. We don't know who's going to be the challengers. You look at all of the other clubs, there's a lot of player trading and turnover and, a lot of questions to ask and new managers. Obviously, there's questions over us, but I won't quite say we have a free run at it, but we do if we just stay calm, take the good from last season, but forget last season and just earn the right to win the trophies, man. Don't look at May right now. The biggest objective is to beat Coventry City. So I'm happy with it, really and truly. And I like the way we've actually been speaking. As I said, Mikel Arteta said we aren't the defending champions, we're the attacking Premier League champions. Again, language is important. Before we get into the Konsa stuff and all of that, please make sure you're smashing the like button, people. Let's see exactly what the gaffer has said, because him, Richard Garlick, they've been doing the media rounds. Mikel Arteta is excited to keep building Arsenal after their Premier League win and vowing to make them the best club in the world. world now. Whether we'll be the best club in the world under Mikel Arteta or one day is another thing. But that's the ambition. Naturally, you want to be like PSG. You want to be like Real Madrid. You want to you want to be like anyone that's achieved anything, people. So let's hear what he said. It's certainly the ambition of the club and the owners to be the best in the world. In order to do that, you need the best facilities, in which we're moving to that. The best stadium, fair enough, we can make improvements. The best supporters, we've got that. You need the best squad. Can't do that without a left winger. And respectfully, there's a lot of attacking players that are past it, really and truly. And, you know, it is what it is type of thing. These are the ones that win you football matches and the ones that can be decisive when it matters. That's what we're trying to build with the actual players that we have and with the players we want to sign to make a difference for Arsenal. I think that is part of our industry, and that's okay. For me, it's when I look into the eyes of my players and I see that fire, I'm on fire, that desire and the will to be better every single day. That's the only thing I care about. That's an opportunity that we have ahead, and we are very conscious of what it's going to take to deliver that. But I feel the ambition, I feel the desire, and I feel the ability and the conviction around the team that we can do it. Fair play. Richard Garlick has spoken as well. In the past, we looked at players that maybe helped build our squad or get us to a certain level, but now we're competing right at the top level. We do need to bring in players that are going to change the dial, in which Bruno G's a step in the right direction. Declan Rice was, and I'm not trying to be horrible, but when you look for our attacking unit, some miss more injuries, some it's more consistencies. Can you really not do better in terms of, and I'm meaning this from a place of love, just holding you lot accountable. Then Martinelli left wing, then Kai Havertz or Gyokeres up front, then Noni Madueke in any denomination right wing. Can you really not? That's the challenge. Because if you're telling me we can't improve that, with the greatest of respect to those players, you can see where I'm going, people. I'm really trying today not to repeat the same things, but he is right. That might be younger players that come into the squad and give them time to develop. You've seen that in the last couple of years at Arsenal. If we're able to combine those players that are coming through the academy with some of the players with the best players in the world, we've got every chance of maintaining that success and going beyond what we've already achieved. We spent 143.5 million already this summer. Where'd that go? What, 30, 40 on Zolis, 70 on Bruno G. Okay, and then obviously Nkapie signing permanently. You can see we've already invested in the squad this season. And if the right opportunity arrives, then we'll look to strengthen in all areas. The window's open for the next couple of weeks. And if there are players that are going to come in and move Arsenal forward, then we'll look at that. Okay. But if the right opportunity presents itself, we'll certainly be exploring it. Okay, this is a bag of tosh from these lots. So yeah, has he said anything else, people? I think he has spoken. He said, as I've always said, we're not going to sit here and say the job is done. We'll always be looking to see what options we've got to improve the squad. There's a couple of weeks left in the window to go. So if the right opportunity comes up, then we'll obviously explore it. And when I say we're always looking to add to the squad and bring in quality players, obviously we are now, as Premier League champions, it's always difficult to find players that are going to improve you. So maybe it's a smaller market, but if that opportunity arrives, then we'll look to take it. I think I said right at the start of the season, most clubs now embark on player trading, in which we need to do, people. The model that most clubs have involves players coming in and going out. We do have a big squad. We've obviously seen a couple of players going in Norgard and Trossard, but obviously we'll look at what's best for our squad. We're always looking to improve the squad. So if that means some players may leave and some players may come in, then we'll look at that. But I think player trading now is just a natural part of the game. He then spoke about Miles. Miles has had a fantastic end to last season, and he started this season really well. And as I say, we're always looking to retain and build on our best players. Obviously, there may be speculation, but I'm not going to be in that from other clubs. But we're very happy with Miles and the position he's in at the club. It's hard. Obviously, you make relationships with players, and the players have played their part. Every one of them in the success we've had the last couple of years. I think that, as I say, players coming in and going is just a natural part of football. So I think I don't think any player ever thinks they're necessarily going to be at a club forever. But as I say, from a point of view, we're very respectful of players that may want to leave and players that are looking for more time to play. So we'll continue to build on that. As I say, player training is part of that. Player training, we can obviously do better, which I do like the recruits. We're trying to make it under 18s at 21s level, whether they're brought in from abroad or they've progressed organically from Haaland, or we source them from other British clubs. If they make it in the first team, great. If not, let's sell them for a profit. I do think we need to look at the loan market of, well, better yet, how we loan out players, whether it is, like, for example, Marley Salmon needs to go get football, or we've brought in a player from South America. You find him a good little loan, and then you kick on, which leads me to, can we start to look at the multi-club structure? Can we look to get players in, like, and they progress to our 18s and 21s, and if they make it to the first team, as I said, great. If not, can you go and fetch us a 10, a 15, a 20 odd million? You sell a couple of those, you get where I'm going with that, people. What I would say is, clearly it's another summer that we've not looked to, because the early days of the Emirates, we're good at selling. Now we haven't actually been that. We're still kind of hoping for that with 2 weeks left. I don't want to be that guy, but like the language that comes out around Gabriel Jesus, Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson is like, I kind of think we need to be a bit more horrible and kind of force the issue, if I'm honest with you with that, and move these players on. So the better we get, the harsher decisions are going to be made. But fair play, people. So yeah, man, we're trying. You can see what we're trying to achieve. For me, I'll stick my neck on the line, man. We're winning the Premier League again. I'm not going to say it's easy. I'm not going to say we're going to walk it, but winning the Premier League again. And I want my FA Cup, people. So yeah, we're going to get into things. What do we make of Arsenal closing in on Konsa, people? David Ornstein said a few hours ago, Arsenal are closing on a deal to sign Ezri Konsa from Aston Villa. The 28-year-old defender is high on Arsenal's target list all summer, and work now advancing with Aston Villa to finalise after dialogue at ownership level to reduce the valuation gap for the England international, which is quite interesting because we are seeing more owner-to-owner kind of deals. Like, did Berta say, you know what, Kroenke, I beg you allow me, go chat to your counterpart. They're making it difficult. We all know he's 28. He's got 2 years left on his deal. Aston Villa have been completely ransacked. And you'd imagine Emi Martinez still moves on, really, because they've just brought in the Japanese lad. Although you have seen situations for a year with two number one keepers. Like you've seen as recently as Donnarumma and Trafford. Trafford's obviously gone. We've had plenty of them. We had Ramsdale and Leno. We had Cech and Leno. We had Raya and Ramsdale. I feel like there was the next one. Emi Martinez, I'm sure, was there with someone. Chelsea had it with Courtois and obviously Petr Cech. You can't have two number ones. So spare a thought for Villa. You know, I'll actually say Aston Villa and Newcastle been completely raided for their talent levels. I'm happy with Konsa. You know, I don't think it's a needle mover in a sense of him individually, but it strengthens further collective signings. And, you know, you're taking players like, you've seen what Bruno's achieved at Newcastle. You see what Konsa's achieved, obviously, at Aston Villa. It makes sense, really. You know, that's how champions get better. So Alex Ferguson used to do it all the time. And as I was saying earlier, like, we're already strong defensively. To add Konsa to that mix and his ability to play right back, which I think is underestimated what could happen at right back with, fair enough, Ben White is fit, but if he was a better man, do you expect him to be able to play twice a week, 3 games in 10 days for the next 3 to 5 months? Probably not. Timber's obviously a few weeks away, so he gives us an option there to have him, Saliba, Gabriel all fighting. Means we could save legs wherever, and they're all competing. You know, this guy comes to us as an England international, Aston Villa, what he's done, helping him get Champions League, Europa League winner. I don't necessarily think the highest of him. Like I've said it before. I didn't used to rate Konsa. Now I've got a newfound respect. I don't think he's perfect, but Premier League proven, 28 years of age, can slot in and do perfectly well here, people. So yeah, that's what David Ornstein said. Hand of Arsenal said, as stated, Konsa was always the preferred target as Arsenal looked to close the valuation gap. Player recently returned from a summer break. Personal terms, no issue at all. Arsenal prefer Premier League experience in the absence of key injuries, which, okay, cool. When would we see him, though? How fit is he? Because granted, I'm not tuned into what's going on at Aston Villa, but if he's just returned from his summer break, how fit is he? Like, is he ready? For argument's sake, I don't expect this deal to happen in that quicker time, but is he eligible if we signed him today to be in the lineup for Coventry? I don't know. And then it allows Mascara to obviously develop. Even Mascara's an option at right back. Like, but we've got beautiful defensive depth, man. Like, we've come out through the trenches, man. Respectfully, I remember rating Koscielny. I remember some of you saying Pablo Mari's better than Gabriel Magalhaes. We've come a long way, man. To be fair, though, man, I did see this a few days ago. This has been retweeted again because this Keith Weenis guy, his comments were they were online a couple of days ago. And to be fair, he was the first, before I saw Ornstein or Hand of Arsenal or Romano, speaking about like the Konsa deal could be moving closer. And it's been retweeted today. Keith Waitness, the ex-Aston Villa chief executive, I heard this morning from one of my Villa friends that Ezri Konsa had agreed personal terms with Arsenal. I think they're going to get somewhere near 50 million plus add-ons. I do expect him to be an Arsenal player probably next week. Now, obviously, you've seen that story develop, people. But yeah, smash the like button. What do we make of Ezri Konsa obviously joining Arsenal? Manny, appreciate you. Hyper, appreciate you. I used to have Mustafi, Pablo Mari, Socrates. The list goes on. We deserve this. Konsa would be a very good good signing. Experienced leader and good defender. And yeah, you look at Bruno, Chi, and Konsa, they've won things in their career. Provided Konsa signs for us, it's all fun and games. Us talking about being Premier League champions. You ain't won that. So you're going to have that level of desire. And yeah, there's also the bonus. It does strengthen the English core. Big up yourself, Ollie. We very rarely agree, but we're agreeing at the moment. Appreciate you. Konsa is 100, a good signing. DG, brother, good to see you back. How are we feeling about the movements? Konsa don't rate me, but I'll have to trust Arteta, and hopefully it is not more than 45 mil. I think they meet in the middle, man. I think you're looking at the lower end of 40s, early 50s. I don't think, ideally it would have been a 35, 40 million thing. Aston Villa not going for that. I'll be amazed, and I don't really care because it's not my money. We're not going to spend 60 million on him. 50 million, not the biggest not the biggest of transfers in terms of fees. In this day and age, I don't think 50 million is anything to cry about with Konsa. I don't know where you lot rate him, but he probably is nearer the upper end of defenders in the Premier League. Naturally, Saliba, Gabriel are going to be there. I don't know how he's definitely, I'd say top 10. I don't necessarily subscribe to him being top 5, man. A couple of, Diaz better than him, Guardiola better than him, Saliba, Gabriel better than him. Who Man United got? I don't rate their centre-halves above you. I can't cap. I don't rate Chelsea centre-halves above you. I can't cap. Van Dijk better than you. Van de Ven better than you, to be fair. There might be 1-2 that I'm missing out. But yeah, man, I'm cool with Konsa. But again, it's just that left wing. Like I said, big up Zolis. I got all the belief in the world with him. But I still feel like we further strengthened 2 areas we're kind of quote unquote strong with. As I said, I was probably the biggest Arsenal advocate on social media about signing a central midfielder. I'm actually happy with another defender. Some of you were saying we don't need another defender. We've got enough depth. I think in a mad way, you're quite naive, and I think you're misplaced with that kind of rhetoric. But still want a left winger. I still think our attacking unit brings a bag of questions. Obviously, Arteta needs to find ways to break down low blocks. The players off their own back have to go from having not just moments last season, but greater consistency. But who do you really, and I know we're going to score goals, but who's going to get the goals? Who do you really trust? Up until the last 2 years, owing to injuries, Saka was the one consistent guy. In the last 3-4 years, maybe even going back to 2022, 23, we've seen a bunch of players have strong campaigns, not necessarily that consistency. Gyokeres has shown his ability to get goals, link up play and all of that. He's lacking. Kai Havertz, the link up plays, all of that. He's shown an ability to get goals, but they're both lacking. You wish you could bring them in together. Eze, to be fair, Gyokeres as well. Well, to be fair, Kai, it's more fitness. Gyokeres just keeps scoring. That's about it. Eze, I think it's more consistency throughout the case of a season. Saka, we just need you to be fully fit, but you want to get beyond just purely relying on Saka to make the difference. Odegaard, again, you look good in the World Cup. You look good in the Community Shield. Can we get that in an Arsenal shirt? Who else is there? I think the ones I truly don't believe in beyond being tools in a toolbox is Madueke and Martinelli to get goals. I like Zolis, all the belief in you. Big up young Max Dowman, but yeah, that's my thoughts, people. So yeah, man, it seems like we're making movements where Konsa's concerned. Big up yourself, Nems. Evening, mate. Konsa is a good hunt to get in. He's proper Prem-proven centre-back. And with Big Gab, Saliba and Mossy as his centre-back core, he fits our tech system. For the Yildiz, that shit makes no effing sense. I don't think we're going for Yildiz. I just think there's only so many times you can link us with the same players. I do take the Yildiz links with a bit more validity, if that makes sense, because I don't know why, but I just remember the Athletic speaking a lot about him, saying we like him, we like Bacola, we like Morgan Rogers. So I've always followed them 3. But whether Yildiz wants to make the move, whether Juventus want to sell, I don't know how much are Arsenal prepared to pay. There are some rumors that Yildiz actually needs surgery. There's some rumors that he's nursing a knock. I don't know, people. I mean, listen, SK, I don't know what Curtis is doing over there, but appreciate you, man. Again, I'd say there's something for everyone, man. Appreciate you regardless, my boy. What's the Yildiz news? We're going to move on. I just wanted to see what you lot are saying. Big up Hincapié, Calafiori, obviously centre-half options as well as playing at fullback. Hincapié, Calafiori, Mosquera, Gabriel, Ben White, Timber, Konsa, that's not bad defensive unit. Defensive unit, I never thought we'd get here as Arsenal fans. Can't ask for nothing more. If I'm being a bit stingy, more in the next 12, 18 months, if there's another generation, not the right word, another top right back, because Ben White probably moves. If you can bring in a right back, then that's great. But on surface levels, it's all great, isn't it? It's not now I'm more looking at it a bit how I look in midfield. Arteta, you've got the ingredients. It's down to you to cook in it. Like, you now need to have the ability to maybe not panic and rush Saliba back. We all know he's great and our best centre half and all that stuff, but cool off a bit, which in previous years we never had that luxury. The same logic probably extends to Gabriel. Obviously, where you look in our midfield, there's plenty of, we could play a lone 6, a double pivot. We could have the double pivot and a 10. The combinations with Miles Lewis, Skelly and Rice, Bruno Chia, Miles Lewis, Skelly, Rice and MLS, Zubamendi and Rice, and all these denominations. You can run all of that. Or you could have one of them in the lone 6, and then you could have Eze and Odegaard as rotating 8s and all of those kind of things, people. So I feel them units is more down to Arteta. You've got the ingredients, serve up different meals. Attack, I think you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If I'm honest with you, I think I accept a lot of the attackers for what they are. I don't think neither Gyokeres nor Kai Havertz is that A-lister striker. And if obviously if we could improve on that, great. But there's games where Gyokeres is going to look amazing, others is going to look shit. The same goes with Kai. Noni's just always going to look like Noni has that, like with Martinelli, you're busy, but you're not necessarily productive. Obviously, Dalman's at 16, 17. You want him to play, but you don't want to put expectations on him. And I really like what Zolis could be in it, but I want to be fair to you. You know, you've just signed for the club and all of those kind of things, man. Big up yourself, live from Planet X. You're in Chile on vacation. What's it like, man? What's it like? Tell me, man. Reckon it gets done 45 mil. Fire, appreciate you. Josh having to intervene with Bruno G and Konsa deals because Berta has been shy. He might get sacked soon. Mikel wanted Alabi, who's now at Villa. I mean, you can't say Berta's been crap because at the end of the day, he's done great stuff. But, you know, if he's not agreeing with me, you get involved, Josh Kroenke. It makes sense. You know, it's all designed to just get these things through the line. From Mustafi, Socrates, Lick Steiner to this defensive depth, we've been well fed after all that trauma. We ain't that team that will be bullied anymore. We're now the bullies. I would rather have players who wanted to join us and nobody else, Konsa, Gyokeres, Zolis, Bruno G, than those who flutter their eyelids at other clubs. Alvarez, Bacola, Vinny. To be fair with Bacola, we don't know what he wants. But if I'm Bacola, I'm not necessarily saying I wouldn't hear what Arsenal was saying, but what was the language? You know, Morgan Rogers is our top target. Vinny is our top target. So you're like third choice. Liverpool have been chasing you for a year. They're a big club. You can see where you're standing on the left-hand side. I'm going to go where I'm wanted. I'm not to say if Arsenal didn't get involved at this moment in time, I wouldn't listen. To be fair with Alvarez, again, I don't know him, but it's almost like a few years ago when we was going for Rafinha, when we was third choice. His second choice was Chelsea because they were in the Champions League. His first choice was Barcelona. It's our fault if we're going for Alvarez, knowing that he wants Barcelona as his first choice. By all means, try and intercept things. Same with Vinny, but you know Vinny's first choice is to stay at Real Madrid. So I hear you. You're not wrong. But yeah, just food for thought, man. It's been months. Run me probably on deadline. Get out of here, man. I'm not on that at all, man. Skelacci, Senderos, Yuru, Segan, and old Sylvester. We deserve the defense we have right now. True. I always allow Senderos because you definitely got terrorized. But in your defense, Senderos, AC Milan away, Real Madrid away. I've seen you stand up too. Skelacci, you were poor. I never really rated Giroud. Segan was rubbish. And yeah, to go to Barcelona away with, you know, a 70-year-old Sylvester and Sol Campbell, we used to do some crazy things, man. We used to do some absolute crazy things. The transfer news about Lead, this is no shit. Have some respect and honor for people. Whatever the hell that means, man. God bless you. DJ, I hope we can get Ndai, even though we already got Zolis of the same caliber, but I feel they do wonders for us on both wings. I like Ndai. Who wouldn't? But when you're starving, anything looks hungry. It's not to say stuff. It's like, I like Ndai. For me, it and it's like with all players, it's how far are you prepared to go? Even with the inflation of today's day and age, I'll be trying to get that done for 60. I think he's a level raiser by default. I don't think it's that level raiser we kind of want. Obviously, there's two schools of thought, in my opinion. You could, and you are not wrong in something is better than nothing, because right now, we like Zolis. If he gets injured, it's back to Martinelli and Eze conversations. But then also, and I don't necessarily want to subscribe to this, on one hand, I'm pissed off that we haven't got a left winger and Vinny and Rogers and this one and Yildiz and that one and the third. But there is logic with, at the end of the day, as frustrated as I am, because I do think that was a big step, there's no point buying people for the sake of buying people if they're not evidently level raisers. You don't want to be desperate for no reason. And how much does Ndai raise the level? He raised it by default because Martinelli was our first choice. I think you're better than him. And you never know if he signs for our football club. But how much is he worth? Again, not that I have the money, but I'm not paying. So, yeah, I don't know, man. That's just some food for thought. We needed a new centre mid and centre back. So that's good. Defo need a forward. However, don't sign for the sake of it. If nothing is available this window, definitely revisit it mid-season as there may be a new start. I hear that because Semenyo did get the move from Bournemouth. Apologies to City, so you never know. It's an interesting one, man. It's an interesting one. So, yeah, Arsenal are working on pushing with a deal to sign Ezri Konsa. We're accelerating our interest in the Aston Villa defender. Pardon me. Various sources have indicated that there is some optimism and agreement for the England international to move to the Emirates is possible. Konsa is Arsenal's first choice defensive target, but so far the Premier League champions have not met Villa's 60 million valuation. So, in terms of not meeting it, there's got to have been something that we're clearly no way. You never know. It could develop quicker, but in terms of his medical fee agreed, signing tomorrow, that's probably premature. From what we was told about this 60 million valuation, because would it be fair to say we've been linked with him for the best part of a month? Something in the last day or so has to have accelerated. I don't think personal terms have been an issue. You'd imagine, we would have had that conversation with his advisors and his agents, and obviously with Konsa directly. Arteta's probably spoken to him and said, do you want to sign for us? How do you see yourself? And big up to yourself, Konsa, because again, this could just be the natural evolution and the best time to leave Aston Villa. We, as an Arsenal fan, in Emirates, that used to happen to us. Like the project, and it's a different one, but like Trossard, Martinelli, like Gabriel Jesus, the project's developed. This might be the best time to leave Aston Villa. You never want to leave a rave or a house party when the lights turn on. And what I mean by that is clearly they've lost several players, and especially us as Arsenal fans. If there's one area you don't want to lose key bodies, it's defensively. They've been ransacked. Luka Dean's gone. I still reckon Emi Martinez is gone. You've seen your star man, your difference maker, Morgan Rogers leave. You might want to leave. And to be fair, there's several attractions for Konsa to want to sign for Arsenal Football Club. You move back to London, which you're a Londoner. I don't know if you grew up supporting Arsenal, but you're 28. We've definitely been one of those clubs. As you can't beat them, join them. You can see what Arsenal's projects is. Got to 2 finals, got to a Premier League. You obviously got all the soon-to-be Arsenal teammates, but England teammates telling you about what's going on there. One thing I admire you, Konsa, because, you can make a case of some of our top 4 to top 6 rivals. You could go over there and play consistent football. If Saliba and Gabriel are fit, I don't necessarily back you to start, but you back yourself. You're like, all right, cool, them man are good, but I think I can go and do this, whether that's at right back or centre half. So I admire that as well. Obviously, and I actually think the same with Bruno, because he had 2 years left on his deal. Money's important. Konsa's got 2 years left on his deal. You're probably going to get better wages at Arsenal. And if your agent's done his job, you're probably signing a 4-year to 5-year deal at this moment. So there's that kind of security that comes with it. So it makes sense. And you're leaving on a high. Aston Villa have had a number of good 2 seasons now. A number of seasons challenging for top 4, getting Champions League, won a Europa League. It's the best time to cut, in my humble opinion. So yeah, Arsenal reopened talks with Villa over a deal for Konsa, but it still fell short of reaching an agreement. The Gunners then appeared to pivot to Bayern Leverkusen's Jurel Konsa. Arsenal have refocused their efforts on Konsa, with a sense now the deal will be completed. Yeah, but where's the left wing and all of that, man? Talk to me, people. Kenan Yildiz to Arsenal, 21 years of age. And you know what? We're a multicultural club. You've already got a Greek guy now. If you go and get him, if you go and get Yildiz, Green Lanes would be even more mad. Do you know how much marketing this means? I don't think Juventus want to sell, and I think you're going to have to offer stupid money. I feel the same way with him, admittedly, as I do with Morgan Rogers, in that, like I said with Morgan Rogers, in my heart of hearts, I know you're not probably going to be the long-term left-wing option, but I was on signing you and figuring out that shit later. I'm kind of like that with Yildiz. I think you'll do your best damage in that Odegaard as a role, but if we had you and Zolis, bro, it could be lit. Sasha Trevanelli has said, Kenan Yildiz is a genuine target, or rather a dream. Okay, so that's the optimism dead there for Mikel Arteta. Arsenal have decided to go on the attack, and there should be an offer, or at least an approach to Juventus in the coming days. Arsenal are going to give it everything they've got. Okay. Mikel Arteta wants Arsenal to be very active in the last final 2 weeks of the transfer window. He's still insistent on a right-sided defender, in which Konsa could be that. Well, is going to be that, provided everything just flows. And a left-sided forward with one significant sell expected. I think it's going to be Martinelli, man. I don't think we're going to shift on Gabriel Jesus. And I know this is bad, man, people. Do you think our football club needs to start taking that hardline approach? Like, because all the language, like Fabio Vieira don't fancy this move, Nelson don't fancy that, Jesus don't fancy that. I'm not, from a human point of view, this ain't nice, but do we, and I want to ask you like this, are we in that scenario now, Arsenal fans, where we might have to take a leaf out of some other books? Like, all right, cool, Jesus, go train with the 21s. Fabio Vieira, go train with the 21s. Nelson, go train with the 21s. Obviously, this pre-season was a bit different because we had no bodies to pick from. But argument's sake, if we go back to the start of pre-season, you man are doing pre-season with the 21s. These man are flying on tour. Obviously, we didn't fly on tour, but you got the point, really. And I feel bad about saying that because I don't think that's right. But something needs to give, if I'm honest. Miguel Delaney's also spoken and said, Arsenal didn't move for Rodgers or, as yet, Bradley Barcola because they don't feel they're quite worth the 110 million plus prices quoted. So then Barcola's Liverpool got a free run at him. The value is viewed as that crucial difference between a player that will bolster you and one that will really elevate you. I don't think Barcola elevates us at the point of entry. Again, I'm not talking about by default, because once you're talking 100 all the way up to 145 million pound player, I have to look at you different. I do think he's got potential, but it needs to be realized potential. And you're not a 19-year-old. You're 23, 24, 25. If the penny don't drop now, it's never going to be. Of course, there's exceptions to the rule, but you get the point. Arsenal's internal analytics show that Gabriel Martinelli is as effective as many of the targets in the 80 to 100 million bracket. Arsenal would probably move for Ellie Junior Krupi had he not been injured, while Bacola could still appeal depending on the price. Indy Kaya, and to be fair, yeah, he did speak yesterday. He did post about Beliba, whatever his name is, going to Manchester United. And today you also saw Ornstein talk about it. He said London sources confirmed Liverpool and Arsenal were locked in intense, high-level talks all day today. The subject was Ethan Nwaneri. Arsenal are looking to sell the player this summer. With a heavy heart, I wouldn't want you to go Liverpool. But if you don't want Ethan Nwaneri, give us Rio and Gomoa. Lighty for lighty. And we can keep it moving. But that might be BS if I'm brutally honest, people, because Arsenal's preference is for Nwaneri to leave on loan. We can't get up. We can't get rid of him yet. It don't make no sense. Even if you look at when he burst through the team versus now, whatever you think you're going to get, it's going to be low. The man just needs a pathway, and unfortunately, it's not there. Left 8, right 8, 10, right wing, whether you like it, I like it. This one's getting minutes and he don't deserve it ahead of Nwaneri. It's not there. Loan my man out. We did sign him, commit him to a new deal last year. Loan my man out. The minute one of these players move on, I'm just saying random names. Kai Havertz, Zubamendi, Odegaard. I'm just talking about a role or spot opening up. Bobby's your uncle, people. And I've said it before, man. If Mikel Arteta is Pep Guardiola, I wanted Nwaneri to be Phil Foden. Obviously, he can never be Foden. He actually turns up and he's not treated like a kid. But what I mean by that is you've seen Foden play on the right, play on the left, play in the 10, play in the 8, play as a false 9. Arteta has spoken about Nwaneri's abilities to play as a 9. But I kind of part that off because you need to go somewhere. You're going to play 20, 30 appearances, put 5 games together on the spin. To a degree, develop away from the hype of Arsenal Football Club as well. And the reality is, Marino and Kai know their roles in the squad. They're going to play either in that 10 or the 8 before you. There's less of a pressing need for them to get minutes. As much as Dalman, we want Dalman to play. There's less of a pressing need for Dalman to get minutes. He's 16 versus a 19-year-old. Madueke, acceptance of his role, clearly a preferred option out on the right-hand side. Dalman's ahead of you in that. And then there's obviously Bukayo Saka. And whether you're like for like, you've got Odegaard and Eze that you're competing with. We don't know what Arteta's got planned in midfield. Because we're assuming it's, for example, any 2 of the 4 of, our midfield options. But let's just say Bruno, Rice, Odegaard. We don't necessarily know that's the case. What if he says, Eze, Odegaard, I've got some other plans. Zubamendi, Rice, one of you's going to be the lone 6, and we're going to have 2 rotating 8s. Go and develop, man. Minutes are currency. And respectfully to Reece Nelson, you don't want Donny to end up like Reece Nelson, where you're 26, ain't done anything of significance. Clearly, physically, Nelson struggles because he does pick up a lot of knocks. But apparently, Arsenal are prioritising loan offers for Ethan Nwaneri, with the Premier League champions not wanting to sell their teenage attacker permanently. The 19-year-old's future has been the subject of major speculation during the transfer window, with the Gunners Academy graduate attracting major interest from clubs across the Premier League and in Europe. Nwaneri's future has become the focus of further attention since he was left out of the matchday squad for the Community Shield win over Manchester City, in which Martinelli not being in that squad shocked me because I've always thought he's a tool in the toolbox. I do think maybe the club are saying, you know what, I know you lot don't want to go Gala, but your thing's kind of done, in which I wouldn't even sanction selling Martinelli unless obviously I don't work for the club, but unless 100% you sold Martinelli today because tomorrow a left winger's coming in, or you're bringing in a left winger then selling Martinelli. Whether I rate him or not in terms of bodies, it does not make sense to let him go because then you've only got Zolis. And yeah, there's a bunch of options to throw over there, but we're being a bit silly with that. There's an acknowledgement at Arsenal that Nwaneri is at a stage in his career when he would benefit from playing regular senior football. Remember, he was in with a cusp of getting a call-up for an England cap under Tuchel. However, given the abundance of attacking talent already at manager Mikel Arteta's disposal, the likelihood of Nwaneri playing substantial minutes this season appears unlikely, amid a sense at the Emirates Stadium that the teenager would benefit from another time at another club during the new season. And to be fair, you saw Smith Rowe go on 2 loans and make it here. Saliba, it's not the same, but Saliba went on a couple of loans. You just never know. Ultimately, Nwaneri's future will be dictated by the offers Arsenal receive. And should the club get a proposal significantly above their valuation for the attacking midfielder, then the Gunners may be forced into a rethink. Arteta said, I want him to be at a club, but we have to. I want him to be at the club, but we have to consider in the medium and long term what is best for the player overall. So in the short and medium term is to get minutes. Long term, you could have a future. AC Milan, Leipzig, Dortmund, and Fulham are among the clubs to have shown an interest in Nwaneri, in which that makes me conflicted because the attraction of a team like Leipzig, we see, they get players from these markets and sell them back. AC Milan's a massive club. Obviously, the way, not the same, but the way Kobe Mainoo was dealt over there with Amorim, you don't want him to go over there. Part of me does want Nwaneri to play in the Premier League where he's more in our faces. Dortmund's interesting because Dortmund and Shakhtar, the world's resetting. They're back to signing their wonder kids, and we know what Dortmund's done. Jude Bellingham, Dembele, Haaland, way before these guys won and done all the things they were doing. That's kind of where it started. And even people like Aubameyang, to a slight degree, different stage of his career. Granted, Dortmund could be a massive attraction. And Nwaneri's gone on loan before to another country. So you're on being outside your comfort zone. I wouldn't be against him going to Fulham and linking up with the Arsenal Dons, but it's well documented that Arsenal are actively looking to sell players this summer, which has left Nwaneri's future unclear in recent weeks. Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli, and Fabio Vieira among the players the club are open to selling. Vieira, Jesus, you need to be gone today. Martinelli, your ticket is on standby. Let's get back into this Yildiz stuff, people. Also been in the picture all summer to sign Juventus's Kenan Yildiz, and they haven't given up on the Turkish star. Yildiz, and I wonder if Bayern Munich miss him, because Juventus's game was Bayern Munich's loss. Yildiz wasn't always consistent throughout the 2025-26 campaign, and this is what I mean. He's a talented player, but there's a lot of gassing up being done. Pardon me. But his rise to prominence is clear to see. He has become a real symbol for Juventus and is regularly relied on to make an impact in attack. The youngster contributed to 21 goals last season, and there's a sense he can get better in the upcoming campaign. Earlier this summer, Sports Witness covered how Juventus' ownership is against his departure. Despite that, Arsenal continue to keep tabs on him, and a major offer could be on their way. Today's print of Tutto Sport, okay, so credibility in the bin already, reports Arsenal are back in the mix for Yildiz. Mikel Arteta is a fan of the player and sees him as a major target, having faced disappointment in a move for Julian Alvarez. As a result, the Gunners could be willing to offer as much as 100 million euros for the Turk's signature. Their interest could soon turn into a formal offer. Juventus consider Yildiz to be a key asset for the present and future. This is exactly why they handed him a new deal earlier in 2026, with the player currently tied down until 2030. The attacker would ideally want to stay in the Turin. He has constantly expressed his commitment to the Rossoneri, and changing his mind would be quite difficult. However, Arsenal could make an attempt to end his 4-year stay at the club. With not long to go for the window to close, it'd be difficult for Juventus to sell Yildiz. They don't have long to find a replacement, which could make things complex for Arsenal. Next summer, things could change. The Gunners will have more time to assess the deal, and Juventus' stance on the player's future could also change. Depending on how his season goes, this financial reality of Italian football teams mean that even the biggest Serie A clubs can't reject significant offers. Okay, fair play. I think this is bullshit now, people, but apparently Arsenal were eyeing Brest defender Raphael Legan. So I think there's a myth. Crystal Palace and Fulham have been linked with the French defender who stands at 6'6", and he's a 19-year-old. So I think you never know. We could get him and loan him out and do all of that, but I'd imagine that Konsa's the last defender. So, yeah, we've gone over what Richard Garlick has said already. Alex Howard, I believe, of the BBC has said Timber could return to first-team training this week, which is music to, obviously, everybody's ears. What else have we got? We've gone over Yildiz. I'm excited about that, innit? So, yeah, we've gone over that. I'm excited about that, bro. I would love that to be the case. Attacking another Premier League, that's where that's where we're going. I love it because now we're going for more. God, man, go for it, Arteta, man. Don't be scared to be ambitious in this life. Sources have told ESPN Christian Norgard was a popular figure around the Arsenal training ground, and there were no questions about his professionalism. Big him up. But Mikel Arteta felt he could not deliver the level of control required from his midfielders. No shame in that. Romano once again has said Konsa is now closing in the move to Arsenal. The deal is almost done for what I'm hearing. It's 99% done. So the here we go could come at any moment. I would say any moment, any minute at this point. And we're expected to depart with 50-odd million quid for him, people. Saka said in June 2024, some sessions I do 1v1 with Konsa because for me, he's one of the best in the Premier League defending 1v1. Agent Saka, low-key, getting all his boys. I mean, this is annoying. Gabriel Jesus is currently not open to joining Napoli with the player taking his time to decide his future. Don't get it twisted. When I remove the fact that I'm an Arsenal fan, I understand that. Can we get the likes up, people? We've got 49. I understand that. Take your time. The next move is vital. Do you want to run down your deal so you can be a free agent? You got family to consider. There's a lot of things that Gabriel Jesus has to consider. But when I put my tribal fan cap on, come on, man. Other clubs are just flogging, man. We ain't got time for that, man. Just get rid. James Ollier said, Arsenal have sought to improve their squad's physicality over recent years to the extent that when opting not to pursue one prominent target last summer, sources say a senior executive explained the decision internally by claiming that we would break him. Mikel Arteta is one of the most demanding managers in the modern game, and durability is high on the list of characteristics Arsenal look for in potential signings these days. The club went on to acquire a different player in that position, more in line with that profile. This is said Bacola favours a move to Arsenal. Bacola would prefer a move to Arsenal in London over joining Liverpool this summer. However, PSG's substantial valuation remains a major obstacle, with no indication that Arsenal are prepared to meet the French side's asking price. Now they're saying they want in excess of 120 million on him, people. Saudi clubs and Galatasaray lead the chase for Rafa Leao. We know we're not getting Victor Osimhen. No one care about no video games. Bring on Coventry. Ironically, Aston Villa. Our first 5 games are quite interesting, Coventry at home, Villa away, Chelsea at home, Sunderland away last year. Wanted to pull my hair out. Brighton away was testy, and we got the job done. Our first 5 games, it's a bit mad still. Bring it on, man. We want smoke with everyone, man. We're attacking the league, as the gaffer said. Atletico Madrid are ready to sell Julian Alvarez to any team bar Barcelona. Hear me out. Is Ollie Watkins better than Kai Havertz and Gyokeres? That's one question. Can he play left wing? Yes or no? He wants to go Saudi. Can we double it? Can we double the deals here? Just hear me out for a year or 2. He's an Arsenal fan as well. Let me know your thoughts. Arsenal are still looking to sign a striker to bolster their attack, says Alex Howard of BBC. Now, striker's a subjective term because wingers are called that. Apparently, we're looking to keep bringing in these scouts. Arsenal are interested in Borussia Dortmund chief scout Sebastian Krug and have already made initial contact. Krug played a key role in deals for Jude Bellingham and Erling Haaland. Newcastle and Tottenham Hotspur are also said to be interested. What's this? Mikel Arteta allegedly has been in contact with Julian Alvarez in recent days as he's trying to convince him to join the club. Arsenal are making their final attempt before the end of the window. I mean, surely we've done all that chatting. Igor Tejon has requested Blackburn Rovers to cancel his contract, and he's currently not training with the team over their failure to reach an agreement with Arsenal over a fee. Arsenal are trying to get the 18-year-old striker for as low as possible. I mean, if we could get this Tejon kid, we've got the guy from Liverpool who can play as a striker as well as in other areas, and the Crystal Palace lad. If they progress to the first team, great. If they could be sold for a profit, even better, all while helping us in the intermediate. Because again, player trading is a vital thing, if I'm completely honest with you. We've gone over Nwaneri and things have developed since then. This journalist has said, Arsenal are back in the chase for Yildiz. Arteta is absolutely crazy about him. He's in love with the Turk. As I told you, for Juventus, he's not for sale, not even for 100 million. To change the scenario, it would take the player's willingness, who so far has always reaffirmed and demonstrated his bond with Juventus. We could still expect an offer this week. So yeah, it's just BS there. And just leave Julian Alvarez alone, man. He's not on it. He's not on it. So yeah, man, let's get involved in that Ollie Watkins thing. Telegraph Sport understands Arsenal are working on transfers for both James Scallon, a 19-year-old winger, and 20-year-old defender Habib Organe from Man United. They'll probably help our under-21s. The under-21s got absolutely moved to, if I'm honest with you, against Barnet. We need to be competitive at that level, innit? So yeah, Timber's expected to return in September. Gabriel Jesus don't want to move. Barcelona striker options now. The Julian Alvarez deal is off, apparently. Gyokeres could become an option if Arsenal sign a replacement first. He's in his prime and a proven goal scorer, although there are doubts about his link-up play. They've also been linked with Gabriel Jesus, even though that's not here. And also Tredozi of Club Brugge, who apparently we wanted. But this is said that Barcelona are preparing a major push to sign Julian Alvarez. However, Barcelona have given themselves 2 to 3 days to complete the deal. If it fails, they'll move on to other targets. So that seems to be everything else that's going on in the world of Arsenal. DG, next summer we go for Trent for White. Wouldn't be against Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think one thing all British supporters of the national team have been robbed of, specifically, is Trent Alexander-Arnold and Bukayo Saka together. Hope this signing doesn't stall Mascara and Saliba's development. Indirectly, it does and doesn't. It does because there's less minutes for you, Mascara, but then also it means you can develop without pressure. And naturally, it obviously affects the pathway. But I'm not being funny. Salmon 16, things can happen, man. It's amazing, bro. Off to Brazil today. Keep an eye out on wingers. Don't come back unless you find 20 Brazilian kids for Berta, man. Safe travels and enjoy your holiday. DG, does Konza's poor aerial win rate worry you? He's bad aerially. I mean, naturally, if that's true, I mean, you never want to hear a defender, a centre half is poor with the ball at their feet. But I like him. He's quite combative. One thing I like about Konza is the same thing I like about Mascara. I don't see them try to do things on the pitch above their pay grade. I do think he's got a bozo moment in him, but yeah, DG and Die would be 60, 70 for me. 70 would be crazy for him, but with the market, I would take it. I can't lie, I'm not spending 70 million on Die, man. No disrespect to him, I just think it's overvalued. Like, I think 60 odd, 65, even at principle 67, 70, miss me. I'm happy with the Konsa signing. Still all the time to bring a forward in. Send Noni in the other direction in Die or Ryan. Don't Ryan play on the right. DJ and Die has the most dribble success rate in the Prem and most dribble per 90, and he creates a lot of chances. He's definitely a level raiser for me, left wing. Goals and assists, though, man. What's going on there? DG Yildiz for 80 to 100 million with his knee injury issue. Nah, I'd rather go get Krupi for 80 million, if not in Die, even with Krupi injured. Sending Nwaneri to loan is the news I've waited and hoped. Let's go. Facts. That Promise Davy, 6.5 tidy on the ball. Big man looks gravy, 22 million. Something we could have done with a small risk. Should have got Mika Gott's been saying all summer to get this guy. Now he's gone to PSG for 50 million euros. No point saying scouts do their job when you're letting gems go to PSG. To be fair, in argument's sake, if I'm a scout, I could find the next Neymar, the next Mbappe. If I take it to you, for example, and you're the sporting director and you're the manager and you don't follow up on that interest, it don't matter then. That's where it's going to start and stop. If Saliba comes back, Konsa's going to get grumpy. I want you to get grumpy. Get grumpy, bro. Get grumpy. Go get your spot back. But then, obviously, we know Saliba's better than Konsa. Let's say Konsa gets on like a house on fire. He's in a really good moment, good spot of form. Saliba might not immediately wrestle his spot back. Or one thing I want to see Saliba do, and he's beginning to do it for France, and I think naturally when Magalhaes moves on, it could be something, is properly learn how to play on that left-hand side of that centre-half pairing, because then you could shift him over. We are too nice with these Deadwood players. They are millionaires, kick them out. They banned the bomb squad. They banned the bomb squad thing. FIFA said it's illegal. Yes, DG, we need to stop being classy. I've been saying it since the past few weeks. You know, I keep saying put these lot in the bomb squad. Sell Kepa, top priority. Man, we're still going to rely on Nelly. Going to be a long season. The higher up Arsenal climb, the more ruthless we need to become. Jesus needs to be told either cut or rot. Our internal analytics needs to be sacked, because what are they smoking about Martinelli? Same as a 60 to 90 million target. This is why the eye test is an important thing. Ethan is not going anywhere, DG. He'll go on loan and develop and take a place of Kyle Marino next summer. So happy to hear the news of the loan. Interestingly, Marino's our oldest player now, our oldest outfield player. So it'd be interesting. We need Marino, though, man. He might not get 20-odd starts. He might not score the most goals, but I'm just putting random numbers on it. There's going to be 5 KG games in the Premier League where, truthfully, we probably don't even deserve to win, and he's nicked us 3 points. If last season didn't show you why you need a squad, then I don't know what to tell anyone. Burton knows ball. He saw my vision with Konsa. If Nwaneri goes to Liverpool, it will be Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain 2.0 all over again. Shambles. Won't mind the sell-on the cheap with first option to buy back for a small fee like Madrid does, or a big sell-on clause like 60%. Social joins, one love. Who will get sacked first, Alonso or Carrick? I think Chelsea are gonna change how they do things and commit full-heartedly to Xabi Alonso. Maybe say Carrick, because if I was a United fan, I'd be fully convinced at this moment. But a lot of my Manchester United supporting friends are not necessarily. And to be fair, Carrick has to earn that right. It's a different ball game now. Like, you was the messiah, the hero last season. You saved them from the villain Amarin. Now it's a full season where, you know, a bit like Arsenal, I think United have the same thing where, like, you've got the midfield options now. It's down to the manager to chef up the meal. So probably that. Alonso will leave, won't get sacked. True? I don't know, man. It's a good question. Konsa seems to be en route, man. I'd rather have Rashford than Yildiz. We just need cover for Zolis. Need to trust our boy Zolis. I like Zolis. I wholeheartedly trust Zolis. I disagree though. I'd rather Yildiz over Rashford 1,000,000%, man. Hope you're having a great day. 10%, man. I do think we have a credited interest in Yildiz, but we're clearly not going to bid for him, let alone sign him, man. If I was in charge of Arsenal's recruitment, I would start reducing Gabriel Jesus' wages every time he refuses to leave the club for somewhere else. Okay, I disagree with that. That's where we we're taking it a bit too far. Not to mention, this is a job. There's literally laws around that. So I wouldn't go that far, people. And to be fair, no one put a gun to this club's head to give Gabriel Jesus that deal. It's just, unfortunately, we don't know how time works. He helped us. He did very well. It's romantic that he kind of got a Premier League medal, but you got injured. Time waits for no one. It's evolved. At one point in time, Tomiyasu and Tierney were the first names on the team sheet. There probably wasn't a need to look at someone beyond Ramsdale. You get where I'm going with this, and there's plenty of other examples. It's the natural evolution, man. We've paid Jesus personally 50 million plus in wages. It's time for him to do the right thing. I won't lie if I'm Jesus, though. If he wants to stay, I hear it. If Jesus says, I want to move on regardless, I want to wait for the right kind of club, I want to run down my deal. When I remove how I feel about my football club and the bias with the club, I can't lie, I hear it. Like, I actually hear it. I do hear it. Now, when I put my fan cap back on, I want him gone, clearly. DG, please, Ollie, ship us out. I'm just being funny, man. I'm just asking a question. The Greek kid does look cold, man. Does look cold. 100 million adds 100 million adds 20,000 seats to the Emirates. The board probably sees that as more valuable than a star player right now. Konsa is a good deal, plug and play player. I agree with that, which is why I'm cool for it, man. Has he spoken about Konsa again? What's Hand of Arsenal said about Konsa this time? Has he updated on what he said on Konsa? Oh. Deal agreed between Arsenal and Aston Villa in the region of 50 million. Medical scheduled tomorrow. Arsenal are now advancing to close the Konsa deal. Still some work left to do. I'm told the player really pushed for the move and wanted to switch to the English champions. Tension between the clubs from the Watkins saga, elevated by Josh Kroenke stepping in and engaged. Oh, Villa, Newcastle, get over it. Get over it. Get over it. He wants to sign for us. It's not our fault if the galley like us, you know. Oh, please, Konsa, stay. We want Europa League. We're in the Champions League. They won't love you like we do. They've got a million bad bitches. They've got Saliba and Marley Salmon and Gabriel. Still won't come over here. Big up, Konsa. Big up yourself, Konsa. And come on, man. IC3, we're the culture club. He's a South London. Well, he's played for Charlton. He's from Newham, come, man. Don't worry, you can have him back at like 32, man. Same goes for Newcastle with Bruno, man. Don't hate us because you ain't us, man. It's different. It's different. And even from a selfish point of view, the points I raised around Konsa, if I'm Konsa, obviously at 28, what you see is what you get. As somebody said, plug and play. But there might, beyond the obvious reasons to want to play for Arsenal, bro, look at what Arteta's done with defenders. He's taking them all to another level. That might gash you. Come to the club. I big up yourself, Biryani Rice, man. Your username always kills me, but you always say appreciate you for keeping me updated. As a data guy, I wouldn't rely on Martinelli's analytics. He's not going to improve, and he's nowhere near 90 million valuation. United have the same problem, but they have a way better keeper. Ethan doesn't want to play wide. He wants to 10. Yeah, well, then if I wait for the pathways, then I agree with it, and I don't agree with that, if I'm brutally honest, though. I agree with it because you want to play in your key position, but if I'm Ethan, honestly, I just want to play for Arsenal, innit? Like, I'm exaggerating a bit, but you can play me left back and, you know, earn your chops. Dowman's never told us he wants to play right wing. He might want to be a 10, but you get in, you play where you want, solidify yourself. Then maybe Saka's had a conversation. Yo, Gaffer, man, let me play out wide. Oh, put me on the left. Oh, let me go on the right. Oh, Gaff, let me, like, if I'm Lewis Kelly, Gaffer, let me play centre mid. Earn your chops, man. People are sleeping on Chelsea. They have a good coach and some decent players. They could challenge if everything goes to plan, but plans never go to plan. It'll be interesting because I don't know, man. I think probably expect City to still fight there. There'll be an unlucky challenger. Chelsea were in a title challenge. On paper, they bought Morgan Rogers for 117 million. Fantastic coaching, Jabi Alonso. They have Enzo Fernandez, who cost X amount. Caicedo, who cost X amount. I've said I think they've got Cole Palmer and Estalvio. And João Pedro is great, crazy. They've got enough, and they're throwing too much money at this thing for it not to work. I just feel I just don't rate them defensively. The two defenders I rate, they're going to pick up knocks. Reece James and Levi Colwill, they're going to pick up knocks. Not to mention their goalie. Now, if they turn around, and I feel the same way about Chelsea as I do about Arsenal, and our whole defensive ethos from back to front, and there's players in there, then great. But they could, man. That's why we just need to focus on us, man. If we sign Konsa, we definitely have enough to win the league again. The champs, however, ... But if we continue to build that Prem dynasty, we should be able to sign those elite players with ease. 50 million for Konsa. 3 at the back is brave in the EPL. Arteta has a great record against it. Let's see how Alonso goes. And you got to remember, Arsenal are here. You see, when we were shit, we were there as a consequence of making years and years of bad decisions. See where we are now. Obviously, remember the Prem, but forget the Prem and the Champions League final and all the defensive ethos. I'm really just talking tactically and all of these kind of things. That is days and weeks and years of learning good habits and unlearning bad habits. That's not going to happen for Chelsea overnight, whether they win the league or not. Like, it's not. So Jabi Alonso's going to have to really work that. Same with everybody. The one I can't really read is City. I almost assume they're going to be there. I don't want to draw conclusions from the Community Shield, but their midfield's a mess, man. Like, it really is a mess. So, yeah, man. Done deal. Big up hand of Arsenal for that one, man. Konsa knew him guy, proper East London. Konsa said, I can go home and play at Arsenal. I'm out. Fair. Exactly, man. Oh, David Ornstein's offered an update as well. All day. Get me a left wing side in and about. Arsenal might be all day. Arsenal reach agreement with Aston Villa to sign Ezri Konsa. Deal for 28-year-old defender worth 51 million plus add-ons. England international said goodbye to Aston Villa teammates and staff today. Set for Arsenal medical Thursday. Come on, boys. Come on, it's accelerating quickly. Big cons. Always like to, you know. But hey, and to be fair, baptism of fire, you know, because very early in the season, you're back at Villa away. You know, you probably will start at Villa away. I'm backing you to score. I'm backing you to score against Aston Villa. Bruno to score against Newcastle. I know he didn't play for Arsenal fans, but I got to be honest. Stick a tenner on Morgan Rogers to score against Arsenal. These things are written in the stars, man. So yeah, this is what we do, man. This is what we do, man. Smash the likes. Appreciate you. Hi, DG. Juventus and Turkey for Kenan Yildiz has been managing a chronic tendon issue in his knee, identified as a patellar tendon. We should hijack Bacola. His price also dropped. But Konsa, a boyhood spud, according to Wikipedia, let knew him down. But you can support who you want as a youth, bro. You can support who you want as a youth, man. You got a job to do, man. Yeah, trust. I was. I did say I prefer Konsa because you think he's a better right back and he's cheaper, and Aston Villa are saying 60 million. I did say that. Shut up, Oli, because you dissed Gyokeres. He scored. Who's got a better? Look, I've had some L's. My W's are stacked. You've not hit once in this live chat. Pick up my mods. But yeah, he's here now, man. Deluded gone out. And here we go. Huh? Yeah, I did, man. I don't know how I feel about this one, you know. I was more in favor of Konsa, the ex-Liverpool lad. I just wanted Konsa because he's younger, more impressionable, and a right back. But, bro, if Konsa's on the plug and play, and to be fair, Olu, be honest, I did say that. He's more plug and play. If you could get it down from 60 million to about 45, 50 odd, I'm on it. Let's do this, man. Why do we not go? I think you're saying for Malik Fofana. Talented player. Probably needs to stay fit, bro. Probably needs to stay fit, if I'm completely honest, man. He's been really unlucky with injuries, man. So, yeah, so here we go, Ting. Big up, DG. Now we can focus on attack for the remaining window. 1 or 2 attackers, and we're set for back-to-back in Champions League. I'm very bullish, and I mean this in a humble way. We've got to earn the right. I don't care about last season anymore. We've got to go step by step. I'm very bullish about our abilities to win the Premier League. I think we'll get to the latter stages of the Champions League, but I don't think we have enough to win it. I need that individual brilliance and that stardust. Now, if Zolis hits it on and Saka and Eze, everybody's fit and firing, I feel a lot better, but I'm still, Yeah, forget the Harry Kane thing. My only worry is that we clearly had 50 million for an attacker, but do you think we'll actually get one? I'm not sure. If I'm honest in my heart of hearts, I'll be amazed if we sign another left winger. And I hope I'm wrong. 100%. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know Arteta. I don't know Berto. I don't know who you're talking to in that. It's just, to me, as an armchair expert, you tried the Rodgers thing. It never happened. You tried the Vinny thing. It never happened. I guess you've still indirectly got a chance for Bacola, but the price tags you're seeing, that looks like a myth. Who else is there? To be fair, it's half-hearted links with the Nico Williams and the Nooses and the Rafaeliaos and all of those guys you could kind of link us with. So unless there's a rabbit that could be pulled out the hat, there's some unknown profile waiting to explode, whether that's someone that's in their mid-20s or early teens. I can't see it in it. I think that just gets parked off until January at the earliest, probably next summer, and we've kind of got what we've got and we don't have what we don't have. I'm not on bringing in Osimhen, you know. And what I mean by that is, on a bit, make sure you're subscribing with Amazon Prime if you're on Twitch. What I mean by that is, if you're asking me the simple question, would I have Osimhen? Of course, he's a fucking striker, innit? And I'd back him to adapt to the Premier League. He's played in several different countries, but it can't just be as white and black and that. we signed a defender when we're already strong there, in which, yes, we needed a Saliba option, alternative. Yes, you get where we're going with Bruno G. I don't see the point in what you're going to have to pay in terms of a transfer fee for Osimhen, the sign-on fee, the wages, etc. When, again, the debate for me is not who's better. You do have Kai Havertz, you do have Gyokeres, you do have Marino. I'm purposely leaving Jesus out because he's a non-factor, but you do need Jesus. It don't really make sense for me, because then at the very minimum, you'd have 2.5, 3 players all competing for up front. There's still that left wing. That's the only striker I can hear is Alvarez, because at least he can play out wide, even though we know my man is going to Barcelona. Probably, but he's gone PSG now, man. He's gone PSG. We had Vinny last week, but the fuck better isn't done. I hope so. But again, we had Vinny money because we thought Vinny was worth the piece. There could be players or attackers Arsenal think are good. And for argument's sake, we're saying 40 million. They're saying 50 million. We don't think he's worth it. Safe. So that's where it has to get married. It's obviously identifying a player, because clearly you've seen this theme in that Arsenal can appreciate a player, want a player, fight tooth and nail to get a player. But when they, in their minds, when it's not value for money, they're not moving for it. Clearly with Bacola, clearly with Rodgers, because you know, if in an alternative universe, you put that 117 million down and match Chelsea's offer for Rodgers, who knows the conversation we're having. So I think that's something we've got to bear in mind, man. If Odegaard holds this form, you'll see Saka special again, bro. Saka and Odegaard I think you man get fit. Well, stay fit. And I think the rest takes care of itself, man. Our backups used to be Kivior, Trusty, Holding, Cedric, El Nene. Our backups would make a competitive team right now. I don't think Saliba's out for the season. I think it protects us, though. If he's back ahead of schedule, great. If he's delayed schedule, great. I'm sure Saliba's pushing to get involved, but I think it would have been naive. And I know some other people didn't want a defender. I think it would have been extremely naive not to sign another defender like what we're seeing with Konsa. 3 to 5 months is a long time. Not to mention other men are going on internationals. Not to mention we're assuming Saliba will be the only defensive injury. So now it gives us, anything happens to Ben White, obviously Konsa can move over to right back, or Mascara can move over to right back. It allows us to mix and blend. I do think, though, I would... Because I remember looking at the bench in the Community Shield. I do wonder how Arteta finds that balance if everybody's fit, because not everyone can make it on that bench. Some players on a consistent basis are going to miss out. Big up hand of Arsenal, man. DG, Konsa deal done, my brother. Smash the likes. I see pitch side for the Community Shield. Big stuff. I'm trying, my guy. I need you, hand of Arsenal, to find us that left winger, man. Go find it. Go use your contacts. I'm happy with Konsa. You know what? Konsa, I'm behind this. How much is he in FPL now? Because he's going to go up, innit? And again, somebody answer me this, people, because I was trying to set up the FPL stuff. Yeah, I have to pick my team before I can renew the league, innit? Because I know some of you have been bugging me. Oh, where is it? Where is it? I think I just have to press the renew button. So if you've been part of it in the last few years, it's all calm. Somebody answer that for me, please. Trizzoli. I like the look of him, man. I like the look of him, but I don't really buy the strikers links. Right? You still got Kai and Gyokeres. I'm not saying the club won't find, you might get a Julian Alvarez, which in theory, someone like that, which is too good to turn down. There might be a young emerging star like Krupi, but I think if we're looking at strikers, it's more just we're looking for not for the sake of looking, but as a football club, you've got to be assessing all areas of the pitch. Like, I don't imagine we're looking at another centre half, but Gabriel Magalhaes ain't going to be here forever. So you probably do have to be looking for left-footed centre-halves and scouting them of various levels and building up like a catalogue. There's years and whatnot that goes into it. You need to play 38-0 on the stream. Should go in for Rodrigo in January. He's the best left winger out there that would be available in January, given that he's fully fit. Listen, let him get fully fit and we'll assess that next summer. I don't think personally it makes sense to go and do that when he's had an ACL. And obviously, I'm just trying to factor in other stuff. If you're Rodrigo and you've just had a massive ACL injury and whatnot, are you going to pack up your bags and move to another country where you're going to potentially be even more isolated? Because then you have to get to know new teammates, get to know new neighbours, get to know like where Sainsbury's is. You have to adapt off the field, let alone on it, all while you're nursing an injury. We've seen these things happen before, but I don't think it makes sense. Obviously, in terms of quality, great. It don't make sense. Do you think we get a left winger? Nah. But I hope that a rabbit could be pulled out the hat, man. You got 2 weeks left. Let's try. I think we get one more left wing. Business is done, really. Obviously, business isn't really done. People need to go. I'm sure, like, you ask every manager, yeah. Like, if you were to ask every manager in an ideal world, yeah, what positions would they like? And if they got all of these things and they got a 25-man squad of everybody's world class, two for every position, managers would still say we want more, and that's the nature of the game. But to me as a fan, we're getting close, man. In an ideal world, I wake up, we got a bad boy left winger, we got a bad boy in Zolis as well. Sweet. Young emerging Dowman, the Odegaards, the Sackers, they're staying fit. There's a lot of reasons to be optimistic, man, but we got to go out and earn the right to win this Premier League again, man. Last season's irrelevant. Ethan can still make it at Arsenal. Arteta wants... I can't lie, that sentence ain't making no sense. Arteta wants his off... I think you're saying off the ball game to be at the levels we've already seen him improve it in pre-season. Ethan's the truth. I genuinely think Arsenal B plus Ryan can win the title. Listen, let's just hope Arsenal A can defend this title, win it. GG, they're saying Yildiz has an ongoing injury. You have seen that. Zolis is a proper baller, though, high IQ, and he's good defensive. I got time for Zolis. I got time for him. I just think we need one more. CB, and that's it. I've always said it. Let's see. That's where I'm at, if I'm honest, man. Could get my man in the left winger and die, maybe. Again, going back to the Ndiaye chatter, it's the price, though, man. It's the price. Not that I care. Not that I've got millions of quids. But, yeah, people, like, just because I like a player, that can't be the white and black of saying sign someone. 70 million for Ndiaye, in which Everton might even charge more. Because realistically, if you were to buy Ndiaye today with 2 weeks left of the window, Everton got to go find a replacement. Now, naturally, wherever that replacement is, when Everton take their money to go buy them, Everton might have previously been quoted 25 million, just for argument's sake. If you're that selling club, what are you going to say? Bro, I just saw you got 70 million, did we tell you 25? I think there was a typo. I think it got lost in translation. No comprende. I meant 60 million. So it swings and roundabouts and circles and all that kind of crap. Which is why the quicker you can do things, the better. But then it's weird because I do think in the transfer window, there's benefits with being proactive. But then I also feel there's benefits with being reactive because obviously you be proactive, you get certain players like Elliot Anderson, Tonali at the time, Rodgers. These clubs were proactive. It was us kind of holding our L. Like, oh my God, the market's gone a bit crazy. Sometimes you could be reactive because players that didn't want to leave, there could be bus stops. He weren't available at the start of the window. He's available now. We didn't show our hand and sign a left winger early, so we might be able to get him just for argument's sake. Which is why I don't feel you can have like a one-size-fits-all kind of approach, man. Konsa and Bruno will have EPL badge on their sleeve this season. Go get Ndiaye, awesome and striker. The front needs upgrading. At this point, as long as the left wing covers Calafiori, the Italian bulldozer, Inzaghi, I don't care, to be fair. I hear it, DG, but Bon Alvarez, man, he's quality and he'd be a great fit, but he clearly don't want you. Don't get twisted. I'm not giving no thought to no Alvarez rumors, I'm just talking with you lot. The man says he wants Barcelona. All right, if he comes out and says that's not the case, or Barca says it's done, then maybe, bro. The man wants Barca. It's an idiot thing. I only want players that want to come on to come and respect the badge. If we sell Martinelli and Jesus, it would free up wages. Jesus needs to go. And I must admit, I know it's a hard sell, but I didn't expect with 2 weeks to go that Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson, and Gabriel Jesus would still be here, man. I think we should buy Rafael Lagon, do the Saliba thing, 2 years loan, and then bring. Yeah, but who's going to be gone in 2 years? Burton needs to keep some bread on the side for Krupi. Will probably be available in January or next window. It's looking like a next summer thing, man. If I'm honest with you. Should play Eze left wing till January and then go for Rodrigo in January. Wishful. I mean, Eze can do something out there, but he's not a one-size-fits-all left winger, innit? It's according to the game state. Although I do think we haven't seen the end of that, probably owing to Odegaard's form. I think Odegaard's going to pull out. And can we get to 100 likes? We've got 83. Odegaard's going to pull out, man. The season is 48 hours away. Let's do it, man. Let's go. There's going to be highs. There's going to be lows. There's going to be swings and roundabouts. There's going to be everything. And at the end, Arsenal win the Premier League. Because I see these rivals. Oh, man. The window is, the transfer window is open, man. This is going to be an open race. So you lot all telling me you're part of the title challenge. You're part of it. Chelsea, you was part of it until when you beat us 1-1. Man United fans are my friends as well. You're doing a lot. To be fair, Chelsea are doing a lot. To be fair, Liverpool fans be quite humble still. I'm not going to cap. And there'll probably be a team that we're not talking about. I don't know how United are going to look with more than one game a week. I do think that's a benefit to the Spurs and Chelsea's. But if I was a fan of either club, you don't want that. It's a consequence of failure. I can't speak for Spurs, they're a little man club, but Chelsea should be in all comps. Certain men are going to be playing League Cup games before October and that. We're used to running them things there when it's cold. People got to bring jackets to the Emirates. A star for a lot of people are playing that in August. Crazy works. Fuck it, bring on everyone, man. Fuck all the other 19 teams. In fact, that's a lie. Big up Everton, big up Leeds, shout out Bournemouth. Because you're the only ones that don't chat shit. But I don't mind it. And my big thing for Arsenal fans this season, sorry people, I found it. My big thing for Arsenal fans this season, I know it's going to be hard. I know it's going to be hard to do this. But don't fucking bite the bait from people that don't support our football club and chat shit, whether we win, lose or draw. I'm not talking about football purists, like people that support other clubs, including us, but they love the game. I've got all the time in the world for people like that. I do have time for banter. Like, you know, we win, we banter, we lose, we hold it. I'm on that. But the agenda-driven drivel, the evident rage bait designed of getting people who make hating Arsenal their personality, people that don't even support our club, 98% of their articles, their YouTube channels, their radio stations, their just anything in their algorithms, our club. I implore you lot. I please implore you lot. Don't give them your time. Time is a currency we've all got to spend, you know. The only thing you can do is manage it and save it. And you can't even really save it. We're dying every day. Literally, we're one day closer to death. And you want to waste this precious time on this earth worrying about these dickheads? I want better for my people. I know that's going to fall on deaf ears, but... And I don't know about you lot, but I know how to compartmentalize things. Like, I'm past the stage of getting angry about evident Arsenal haters, which probably don't even believe half the shit they say when they come off these social platforms, chatting shit. Like, come on. How angry are you going to get at Noni Madueke's inconsistent decision making? Noni, I threw you under a bridge, just putting a bit of humor on it. But I implore you lot to do that. Let's just focus on it. Embrace the hate. If we win and they hate us, fuck them. If we lose and they hate us, fuck them. Like, they're not part of this. They ain't bled for this like us. Come on, man. We're in this alone. You show me any one athlete, any football team, any sports team that's accomplished something that's been university liked. It's a lie. The Invincibles wasn't. The many Sir Alex Ferguson sides wasn't. City only started to get love really because when people wanted Arsenal to be stopped, but people hated them they bought the league. Same was said about Chelsea. Same was said in recent years about Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, and actually when Slot won the league. And there's probably other cases. But do you think any of these clubs at any moment or any beneficiaries cared? Probably not. So I'd implore you lot to do that. But I know that's going to fall on deaf ears. There's 260 of you tuned in here. So if 259 people don't listen and one does, then my work here is done, innit? They don't like us. They're hypocritical as well. You can poke many holes through their logic. But yeah, man, let them do what they're doing. And we're going to get the shows with rants going again. I see clips, rants is saying, oh, yeah, we all need to link up against Arsenal. Say what you want about the A's up till we freeze up the corner boys. We don't do link ups with no one. I want all the smoke with all the YouTube, every one of those YouTubers. Rants, flipping Abby, Steve-O the madman. Steve-O tried pipe up, then his team got piped down, West Ham lights out. I don't know why these random teams getting involved. KG still owes me a shirt. Flawless. Don of Chelsea, Lewis of Chelsea. Man, there's too many pagans and too many ops, man. There's every one of them. We want all the smoke. We want all the hate. I quite like this villain stuff. So yeah, honestly, I rate Nico Williams. I think he'd ball out. I like Nico Williams, but there ain't really been no links this summer with him, really. And if it's been links, it's really just, oh, man, as a result of not getting Morgan Rogers and Vinicius Jr., Arsenal are set to reignite their interest in Nico Williams, a player that Arsenal, along with Barcelona, chased for 2 years before he signed an 8-10-year deal. So it's just a bit of creative journalism. You never know, but yeah, man. Pardon me, yeah. Now, big up Rance. I like Rance. Rance is a thorough guy, man. Like, I know he pisses you lot off, and I don't listen to his Arsenal comments, but him as a person, forget him as a football fan, him as a person, as real as they come. But again, I'm never going to go on Rance's platform and expect to hear common sense about my football club. And the same with Lewis of Chelsea. I'm not, or Monts of Liverpool, or Kaz of United, and the list goes on. Obviously, these people can have sensible conversation. Saeed the same, but I get it. It's all banter. Paul Scholes. I like when Paul Scholes talks about. For me, I like to watch. I don't really like the trivial content in it. I like to listen to ex-footballers and tactics and things. If Paul Scholes talks about his Man United days or his playing days or like football at that level, I'm gonna listen. When he starts talking about my football club, I can compartmentalize. I don't want to hear it, bro. Like simple stuff. People have to stop making bets and then dodging paying up. It's disgust, bro. Tell KG run my shirt. He sat here. I said, "Are you sure Sesko is going to score more goals than Gyokeres?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Should we bet?" You all saw the video. I said, "Okay, cool." I said, "What should be the bet?" He said, "Whoever loses has to buy the other one." In my case, it would have been a Man United shirt. In his case, it's the Arsenal shirt, a new season top. And you lot will all hear, what did I say? All I want is to make sure it says DG13. I want the badges. I want the Prem badge, the gold thing. I want the Champions League sign. I want all the trimmings and the edges and everything. Because last season was different for me. I should even make a video about this. Last season was the first year I said, nah, fuck it. I'm letting my nuts hang. Like, nah, bro. I actually believe we can win this league. And if I give myself, like, I should actually get up all my talk sport clips. If I could give myself a player rating, I give myself 8 out of 10. Because April, and that's why I like the boys. April, I did think it was gone. Like April, for all the hard work I put in, I did think it was gone in April. My head was flames. The Champions League final, I occasionally I watch my highlights from that. And truthfully, man, I didn't want to talk on TalkSport. Like, I didn't want to talk, bro. But like, people are talking to me. I'm zoning out. I'm getting vexed. Yeah, bro, it's so close, but so far. So I give myself an 8 out of 10 for that. And there was times where, honest to God, bro, like, it's looking dark, but that's gone too far to turn back. You know what they say in books, when you're weak, appear strong. Like, no, we're going to do it. So yeah, big up the club for delivering for all of us, man. DG, sorry if you spoke about this. Do you think the situation we're in with the high wages of 11/14 and Nelson makes us reluctant with Odegaard and Kai since we have no update on their new contracts? Potentially. But then, it's a weird one with Odegaard and Kai. They're key members for Mikel Arteta's side. I personally think that could be the first Mikel Arteta versus Andrea Berta. Arteta shown he can be ruthless, and ruthless doesn't always mean I'm switching up on you, like you as my guy and I've stabbed you in your back type of thing. It could simply mean we're trying to go this way, you're going that way. They're two key members of the squad. They're two of the first names on the team sheet. They are two of his experienced players. They have like uses of this. But then you could argue, if we keep on progressing and progressing, are necessarily, and more so Kai, if we go and get a striker, are you in the strongest 11? Also, like, there probably is an element of moving on Gabriel Jesus, Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson, etc. And there probably is a degree of we'll get round to it, people, because there's probably other contracts. Like, I would imagine the next in line is probably Jurriën Timber and Declan Rice, who probably got more years to run than the two names you've said. Is it a priority right now? Is it a unanimous decision, like we have to give Odegaard a new deal or we have to give Kai Havertz a new deal? I don't necessarily think that's the case. So that's probably why. And to a degree, you could make a case of potentially, and mainly because of injuries, are Kai Havertz and Odegaard playing for a new deal? Because things can change and rumors are rumors. Started the window, you had a lot of credible journalists saying Odegaard could be an unpopular sell. And I do think generally at this football club, we probably have to get more used to unpopular sales. Like at the time, you could not let Jurriën Timber and obviously Jurriën Timber, Miles Lewis-Skelly and MLS run down their deals. Two talented young players. We can't let that money go through the door. Saliba, we have to tie that down. Saka, we have to tie that down, etc., etc. So potentially, man, you represented the fan base beautifully on talks, but I can't lie, you're a menace for them. You articulated yourself and you stayed calm, sprayed nothing but facts. But I appreciate you lot, man. And you know what? You lot warm my heart, man. Like, honestly, the moments we shared on this channel throughout the whole season, but particularly when it was confirmed and being at the ground, well, it's like being in the Dragons' den, man. You know, there's a saying in life: anything you say can and will be used against you in it, and as evidence. So when you're in these scenarios with people, you have to know the chessboard. I know you lot don't like Arsenal. I know you lot are gonna try and antagonize me. So I'm naturally gonna control the conversation. I'm gonna purposely piss you lot off. I am like one of my funniest clips. I watched it back. I'm sitting there. I'm saying Arteta's Arteta's hit his KPIs. Like, I know I'm chatting off, bro. Oh man. Side note: Saka and Konsa are really close friends off the pitch. That's great. If I'm honest, I don't really care who's friends and who's not friends. win me stuff. But that's good. That's good, man. And slowly but surely, we're taking over the England national team, innit? Slowly but surely. Nah, DG did go to war for us when it looked like we might have not won. And many lost faith. Love every second of it on Talks whenever. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. If we get Yildiz or Liao, I'm dreaming for the UCL again. Rafael makes you dream about Champions League. Paul's toes stopped talking sense after he sucked them toes nasty. And a lot of these guys, bro, a lot of these, mainly in the mainstream media, a lot of them actually don't believe what they're saying, doing the devil's advocate thing, or they understand the game's the game, bro. Like, again, I get it. And to be fair, they're probably laughing because man are going to click it like, oh, you can't say that. Through the back, when you look on the back burners and the analytics, it's just going to show in the green. So this is why I implore you lot to learn to ignore things. Easier said than done. But yeah, Marcel, shut up, mate. Just shut up, man. What is the time in America? Just shut up, man. Chatting off, bro. Just chatting off. Yo, broski, how did you add that game time in your watch-alongs on StreamYard? Done it via OBS still. Zolis is establishing himself as number one and looks excellent. I think Liao at cut price as number two wouldn't be terrible. Living room tactician, I appreciate Liao. I'm not convinced, bro. I'm not convinced, man. Don't fall. He's a good player. Don't fall for the step overs and all of that stuff. He's frustrating, man. Frustrating, man. Incredibly frustrating. And again, I knew you weren't getting a 30 move because you're talking on too many podcasts. The players that get moves, they haven't said a thing. So yeah. Stop Liliao and Osman talks, please. Waste of money and chat. Bro, Jalen, a lie? Of the two, I'd rather Osman. Liao's a good player. Don't get twisted. I wouldn't cry if he signed for Arsenal, but I think some of you put Donny on a level he's not. Guys, stop worrying about players' ages. We want to win majors for the next 3 to 4 years. We need players ready to contribute now. This is what you do when you're on the top. That's the way I look at Konsa. Because you went on, like what Alex Ferguson done, you cherry-picked one of the best. Away from the traditional top six, Konsa is one of the best defenders in one of the best teams. Away from the traditional top six, historically, yes, Aston Villa have been part of the top four. Bruno G, the same school of thought. I like that. It's just, if there's anything disappointing me right now, it would have been the frustration of not getting young Jeremy Monga. It would be there's not another left winger in addition to Zolis. And really the lack of outgoings in it. And even the outgoings thing, that's kind of capped, man. It's only a game I don't take serious, but I find the crash out Arsenal fans entertaining, winning the league but losing 2 finals with cinema. The game's the game. I love seeing fans crash out. I love the banner. That's cool, Warren. Warren pisses people off in this chat, but I will give him this. He talks a lot of stuff, but he does know when to be serious. And that's, for me, there just has to be balance in life. I feel football discourse, either professionally on YouTube, it's gone too much the other way, bro. Like, it's just brain fart, bro. And it's just overly tribal nonsense. Your team is shit. My team is that. Who can make the most jokes? Who can, manufactured reactions? It's just, for me, it's lost the authenticity, like, of the emotions of really being happy when your team does well, really being sad when your team does bad, really enjoying that healthy dialogue with pagan supporters. It's all lost, man. How many assists will Zolis get this season? I don't know, man, but I'm actually back. Most people would probably put Odegaard in the assist thing, innit? I think Zolis and Rice. And really Rice a cheat code because I don't know, but I'd expect you to take set pieces. Will probably be our top assisters, innit? Liao whoring himself out, still can't get him moved. The guy's a scrub, man. Never rated him. He does too much chattings. I don't want Konsa nowhere near my club, especially if it means Ben White goes to Everton. Who said that, though? I can name 4 better options. Kayonde, Murillo, Conde, Skolobek. Not having Skolobek. Kayonde's a right back. Murillo's a left-footed centre-half, in which if Magalhaes left tomorrow, I'd entertain that. I think he's tiny Gabriel, if I'm honest. Conde would have been a good attraction, but Barcelona just loaned out Araujo. They're probably never going to get rid of Conde in the same window, man. No, I just like what Figgy could have been, man. I just like what Monga could have been. I really like what Monga could have been. And are you sure? He's played 20. Well, if he goes to City, I don't care what he's doing, but I think he was a 16-year-old turning 17 with significant experience in the Championship. I use that word loosely. What he does at City, that's your business. Get your pay packet, If you make it there, you make it there. If you move on, move on. One player I wish we got is that Ryan McKay guy that's at City. We tried to get him when he left Chelsea. 20 GA for Trossard is a good return in all comps. Odegaard needs 30. If you won the Champions League, you would have got who you wanted. That would have held you back. You say that, and it's an extra cherry, but how would that have made a difference with getting Vinicius if you wanted to stay at Real Madrid? How would that made a difference of when it came to, do you want to spend 117 million on Morgan Rogers or not? It wouldn't. I genuinely wouldn't. So it sounds good, but it don't make sense to me. Benoit has to stay for a year. Yeah, I like what Monga could have been because there's not really, like, I can't lie. My first choice left winger is actually Rio Ngomoro of Liverpool, in it, because I think he might. I always say people are my favorite players that don't support Arsenal, but he's one of them. I really believe in him, and I know we couldn't get him, but I felt that could have been our Rio kind of thing. Is it fair to say of the front three? Yeah, because most teams got a front three in it, so you got a right winger, left winger, and a striker. Is it fair to say when you look at the right wing market, and to be fair, I want to know your lot's thoughts. Is it fair when you look at the right wing? Sorry, people. When you look at the right wing market, the striker market, the left wing market, we all know they've all got their struggles. But would it be fair to say the left wing market is the deadest of those three? Because the striker market's meaty, and we got Gyokeres, United got Sesko, bare man of size strikers, but in an ideal world, you probably wouldn't have gone for them, but that looks a bit stronger than left wing. Granted, I am scratching my head for right wingers, but you could still. Yamal's not going to stay as a right winger for forever, but he's a top player. So Elise could play there, he's a top player. Saka could play there, he's a top player. And there's plenty. Salah up until last season, on top of everything he does, was a top player. Left wing, you're kind of scratching your head. By default, Vinny's there. There's a couple of Carrot Skelly is there naturally. Vinny's there. It's not really. It's a bit meaty, really. So, yeah, I think the left wing market is probably the deadest of all three of them. Left wing market is dead like 9 nights and funerals. Don't laugh, man. It's not funny. Not funny, man. And that's something as well. What are your top 3 choices for left wing? I don't really have none, bro. I'll be real, man. I wanted Rodgers. Never happened. Would have liked for the Vinicius dominoes to fall. Didn't happen. Yildiz, Nico Williams. Probably then die by default. Or no, in fact, third option, scouts just do their jobs, man. So we've got peas, bro. We got peas. I hear all of that, but we didn't get Vinicius Jr., but they were prepared to pay whatever it would have been. So I'm not saying you're wrong. Obviously, you win Champions League, it attracts more players. But when you actually look at that narrative and look at the common sense, it's not going to fly here, innit? I think too much. Not winning Champions League hasn't stopped us from signings. Let's face it, left wing going to be Nani. Oh, to be fair, I'd take Man United's Nani. I assume you talk about Noni, Eze, Zolis. Right wing will be Dalman, Saka, possibly Ethan. Our defense is all settled. Time to bring that attacker. Barely anyone knew who Mongo was until this summer. Come off it now. Would you take Bacola for 120 million or keep Nelly? Fuck it, man. Sometimes you got to spend peas in it. Fuck it. Get it done for 120 mil. I'm not even really convinced with it, but F it. Even though I still think Donny goes Liverpool. And Dyer is nearly 2.0. He actually thinks. DG, do you play FPL or have you ever played? Yeah, we've got our own league here. I need to renew the league. But don't worry, people, because obviously if you follow the socials, if you checking your YouTube community tab, from now till Friday, I'll keep reminding you lot. Plenty of you are already in it. So when I press the renew button, you'll be there already in it. So yeah. Wait for Rodrigo to be fit again, sign him in January. I can't lie, I'd wait for him till the summer. I need to see a catalogue of you being fit. I don't trust it. I really don't trust it, people. Konsa will be announced at the Friday game. Fair play, people. But yeah, man, somehow we've been here for an hour and a half. It's been absolutely amazing. Konsa seems to be signing for Arsenal. If you haven't subscribed or smashed the like button, please make sure you do. Don't forget Friday, 7 p.m. we begin our watch along. So yeah, man, the season's back, man. I think in the evening there's a video where I'm talking about the growth of our side, man. There's always content. So yeah, check out the content, people. Smash the like button. Appreciative for you lot giving up your morning, your afternoon, your evening, or your night. Anyone watching this on the replay, all of you lot have interacted. Yeah, man. It's always difficult to say goodbye to you lot, but you lot got better things to do, man. One love.